the next one is what you said, unassisted versus assisted transactions. So can people buy on their own, which I would assume is unassisted, or do they have to speak to someone in order to check out?
Yeah.
And this sounds pretty straightforward, but like if it's buy on their own, do they have an option to speak to someone if they want to? And if it's they have to talk to someone, well, do they have an option to buy on their own if they don't want to talk to someone? It's like, if you're unassisted 100% or assisted 100%, is there value in offering the other one?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with the unassisted sales. In fact, this is what a lot of the big internet marketer guys do. Like I know Frank Kern does this all the time. When you get deep down in his funnel and you still haven't bought, he'll offer to do like a 10-minute Q&A call, which is basically just a closing call. And, hey, so because by that point, they know what the offer is and what the price point is. And hey, so what questions do you have about the thing? X, Y, Z. Okay, yada, yada, yada. You want to buy it? And that's basically it. And so you can do the same thing deep within your funnels there too. And then if it's an assisted transaction, then this is where, if it's an assisted transaction and it's more than hundreds of dollars, you're probably going to want some kind of a pipeline to manage that. And if it's less than that, then you could probably use, tasks or whatnot to follow up with people. And you're right, this is pretty straightforward. This basically just impacts how we sell. And so it has a very high impact on the sales journey and not a whole lot of marketing fulfillment. And again, this is something you need to be clear on. Just imagine working on an offer with somebody and this whole time you think they're going to be able to buy it themselves. The whole time they think they're going to talk to a human. And then at some point, the two trains are going to collide. It's going to be like, wait.
Yeah. And like, I don't like being on my phone. Like, I'm just not a big phone call guy. And I know that like, there's probably some baggage I need to unpack as to why that is, or like why I get PTSD when like the once a week when I see it ringing. But as much as as that's not my love language, it is for other people a safety blanket. It's a comfort zone where like the internet can be intimidating, and especially like depending on what you're buying and the price point attached to it, like there is some inherent like risk for some people that can be unsettling. And so by making yourself available, it doesn't have to be on the phone, but by giving people a lever that they can pull to get validation, assurance from a human, like, so if you don't have that offer, some people will miss it. If you do have that available, some people will take advantage of it. And like, that's one of those things that may feel like a small change, but like there's a percentage of your sales that you are probably missing out on if you don't have an option for them to talk to a human to get their questions answered. So the solution I implemented a couple of years ago, which was a suggestion from a mutual friend of ours, Mr. Michael Hunter, was like you can add a chat tool to your checkout pages. So I added, at the time it was Pure Chat is a chat solution that like has a WordPress plugin option. And I added Pure Chat to all of my order forms. And I had something like a 75% close rate from those chats, because the only time people chatted was when they were on the checkout page and they were stuck on, is this in the course? Does it include that? Or what about this? And as soon as the chat came right to my phone, and as soon as I answered it, the order would come in. So I wrote a blog post once that was like making sales at the dentist, because I was literally in the waiting room at the dentist's office. A chat came in, I answered it, I had my teeth cleaned, I came out and I had the sale. I was like, okay, well, like that's validation for that tool. I stopped using Pure Chat because they changed their pricing model, and the free plan I was on, they like just pulled some features out of it and made those paid. And like, I got like personally defensive about it because I liked the free features, but it's their business, it's their choice. So I don't use that tool any longer. But the point is like, yeah, how do people check out? And like, are you giving them the support that they could possibly want during that window? Yeah. You ready to move on?
Yeah. Well, I chuckle because you're talking about, talking to that live person that can close the deal.
Oh yeah.
I got scammed because I was able to talk to a person, and I'm going to talk about that at Icon.
That's right.
Yeah. So if you want to hear how I got scammed real hard, attend my Icon talk, because it's a perfect example of multi-channel marketing.
Yeah.
And I can't believe I got got. But
it is I have heard this story from Paul, and it is a symphony of like moving and variables. And it's pretty dark. It's a trip for sure. So if you're not attending Icon yet, they have options for attending in person and virtually. It's just keep.com/IKON icon. And it's I don't know if I'm going to be there in person, but I'm definitely going to be attending virtually. And Paul's session is one that I definitely have circled, so I'll give you that plug as well.
Yeah, for sure. So always be closing, right? Commitment, consistency. If you're here in this presentation, you like what you saw, you're going to like what I talk about at Icon. And I created an open loop too.
There you go. Yeah. That's it, man. That's like, imagine this was a nurture sequence, and this in email 1 you said, I'm going to tell you the story of how I got scammed, and people are just waiting for the next email.
Yes.
Okay.